Good, welcome to a mini and super fast session. This is simply just an introduction to some of the most simple things going on right now on the internet. And I'm definitely not an expert in this. An expert is a guy who was previously a PERT. So since I did not used to be a PERT, I'm also not an expert today. What I want to show you is something about how you can use documents, how you can share documents with one another in such a way so you create a document and it gets stored out there on the cloud, and after it has been stored on the cloud you can give access to various groups in various ways and thereby share the document in a smart way. So the first thing we're going to do is to start up here with creating a Google document, and I think first I have to sign in, so let me sign in first. So now I have signed in, and in order for you to sign in, you need to have a Gmail account. That is something you create under Google. So the reason why we have asked every one of you to create a Gmail account is so that we can start sharing documents pretty fast. You can share them anyway, but this is a way to share them in between us. I'm still yet to learn about how to create a group. It is possible to create a group of members, and the trick is then that you can share with a group. And if we now create several groups, like one group for accounts, another for sales, another for whatever, then if we share with a group, then that group has access to the document. I recommend, unless you are very sure about what you do, I recommend that when you share a document, you share it such that others cannot edit, explicitly cannot. The reason is that if you create it otherwise, you are of course at risk that that document can be edited by someone else if it is being shared with someone who maybe don't know about what the document purpose is. Then you have to look into the history and go back in time. But let's just take a simple document like this. It is empty, Google how-to, whatever. Here, what is, I've just put some text, but I would like to maybe show you just a little of the features here. It has most of what other editors they have. And we don't need to spend more time on that. I mean, you can simply just put up a header for your document. Pay attention to that there are some nice things you can do. For instance, you can click full screen. That's something you click inside of the Google Docs. That is, Google Docs for now leaves you without all the controls. Pay attention to get out. You can see you can press escape. So if you click escape, while you're inside of the document, you go back again. But it means that you can go full screen, and furthermore, the browser can also go full screen. There are two different softwares. If that happens, you are now left with an entire document where you can edit with a completely full screen. You can of course again position yourself in the document and now click escape. Then the browser is still full screen. You can see there are no controls for the browser, while you have all the controls for your document like you would have in Word or similar. So this is a document which I would like to share with you, for instance. You can see up here that David Swire is viewing. This here does not refer to me who is here. It actually refers to that I'm logged in on my screen in my office. So what you can see is that the fact is that I'm viewing from elsewhere, meanwhile I'm typing. It goes so fast, so when I have typed something like this here, it takes about, you can see save now, here. Now it saves automatic, ding. After that, the document will be posted such that whoever is listening can now see it online wherever they are. Bottom line is, if you actually use this here, you can actually have remote conferences. I don't know if you thought about that. But it means that you can have documents which are dynamic like this here, and you now post these documents, do the necessary changes, do scrolls, whatever. So you can actually be many people sharing that same document at the same time in different places of the world. If you now at the same time use Skype conference, then you have a tool which communicates, so you can have voice, and you have this here to communicate picture. So it means it gives you a very nice opportunity to share whatever you're doing. Now, Furthermore here, you can up here now share the document. You click on the share button up there. And here you can see this document is so far private and only I can view it. Then I can, for instance, share it with any one of you. I don't know, Jacob, your email address, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah? OCHIJacob@gmail.com, like that?
Yep.
Good. And then as said, it default says that Jacob can edit it. I propose that unless you think otherwise, I propose that you just put it for viewing. Then you can say share and save. What happens now is that you can see the list here is me as owner and Jacob, he can see it. If Jacob was logged in, he could actually just see exactly what was going on as it's going on. Few seconds and he's got it online on his screen. It is so much so he can even sit, if we have co-editing, we can sit and edit the document and whatever he does comes up on my screen after some seconds. Whatever I do comes on his screen after some seconds. Fine and well. Now this here is now set to private access. The document is private. It means that only these two guys here can see it. You can also see there's no link to the document, so it's not possible for someone to see the document the way it is. If I now change that, there is the private setting. That means only the list can view it. Then there's the anyone can link. That one says that anyone who has the link can view that document. So bottom line is here. If you click this one here and now save this one here, and you can also allow anyone to edit, then you can save it and now pops up a link to the document. That's this one here. Furthermore here you can now see you can share this link here. So if I now choose Twitter, for instance, I can choose to share this document with whoever is on Twitter as I speak. Here GPS Academy logs in automatic, but I think I would rather put myself here and then put my password here, and I hope I guess right. Never for this site, fine and well, and sign in. And now you can see the Twitter message. What you can see here, maybe I can zoom in a bit. What you can see here is that the links will be automatically shortened. For those of you who are not so savvy on the internet, you might say, what the heck is that? What it means is that this long link, https docs google.com document and HL equals English US. That one will be shortened by Twitter to something called t.co, that is Twitter's one of its short URLs, / and then 7 alphanumerics, like PS, 7P, V, whatever. Fine. And now here comes the document itself, and here it gives the name of the document. Nobody say we want that. But now let me make it so far as a direct tweet to myself. That means I'm not actually sharing it with anyone, I'm just sending it to myself. And here I send it to myself and say, take a look at how to access Google Docs and share the link via Twitter. What now could be obvious is that when you now click tweet, then this here becomes sent. And once this here becomes sent, it comes in, of course, on my list. This is my Twitter account, whatever. And it means that everyone who receives that will receive it. Now it was sent as a direct tweet, so it ends only to myself. If you send it as a normal tweet, it will end out to all of those who've chosen to follow me. Now comes the sweet thing here. If we now choose a Twitter account, we have a few. We have Die Events, which is the one which is currently manned by Bolo. That is events in Digital Age Institute. If you want to follow them, it's there, it's happening. So that's one place we can tweet. We can also tweet at Die Reception. These are things which deals mostly with administrative issues for our college. That can be closing and opening hours and all sorts of stuff. It can be, for instance, that we have a document you need to pick, every one of you. It can be that we have cancelled classes for some days or whatever is happening. See now, we can create others. We can create, for instance, one for Yatima Group. That is a team we have here working with orphans. We can create another one for CH 2012, I think was the group for making car rental, or CR 2012, and so on. Point is now, you can create Twitter accounts for teams. You can actually close the Twitter account, so only those who are permitted to follow can follow. It also means that you can now create it in such a way so when you want to distribute a document and make people aware that the document actually has been saved or changed, then you link it up and tweet every time something has happened. Then those guys who depend on that document can see on their mobile phone just a plain normal Mullikamwissi like this, or a more advanced one like this with TweetDeck and what do you have. From there you can now read that this document has been updated. From there you can type that very, very short link, open the document and follow suit. Bottom line, you're online. Do you think then that this will save a bit of our rainforest? I think so. Because all this logging for paper could be reduced tremendously by using such technology. This was what I had to say today. I just wanted to make it short to create some awareness about what can be done digitally today. If you have not got anything out of it, I hope that this video here will show you something, because we're going to stuff that thing on YouTube. If it's not good, then you can't hear a thing, but if it's good, then you can refresh your memory from there. There are plenty of other things you can do, both by help of Twitter, Google Docs and so on. There are plenty of other ways to share. We're going to take another 10-15 minute session, for instance, on Monday. Thanks.